Good day, third year students. So let us today start with the Scholar Gypsy. And yesterday we did the introduction to the poem Scholar Gypsy by Matthew Arnold. Go, for they call you, shepherd from the hill. Go, shepherd, and untie the wattled coats. No longer leave thy wistful flock unfed, nor let thy bawling fellows rack their throats, nor the cropped grasses shoot another head. But when the fields are still, and the tired men and dogs all gone to rest, and only the white sheep are sometimes seen cross and recross the stripes of moon-blanched green, come shepherd, and again renew the quest. So, as I told you that this poem is a pastoral poem. And what is a pastoral poem? A pastoral poem has rural settings. It has countryside setting with shepherds, fields, shepherdesses, natural beauty. So here the speaker is calling the shepherd. He says that your cattle is calling you because it is evening time and your cattle needs to let loose themselves in order to graze the grass. So he says, without losing much time, go, and all the cattle, they are calling you, and untie your wattled coats. You should go and let them loose, your animals. Now he says that you should not leave your cattle unfed, because it is time for them to go and feed and graze the grass. Now he says that your fellows are racking their throats. Racking their throats means they are calling for you in a loud voice. If you won't go in time, they would continue racking their throats. So listen to the cries of your fellows and listen to the cries of your animals and go. Nor the cropped grasses shoot another head. Now he says, you should not leave the cropped grasses shoot another head, but leave them and go. But when the fields are still and tired men and dogs all gone to rest, he says, first satisfy all these people, satisfy all your fellows, satisfy all your cattle, do your field work, and when there is peace all around and all the tired men and dogs are all gone to rest, and it is a very serene time of the day. And what is that time of the day? That is night, when the moon is shining on the green pastures. It is that suitable time that you should renew the quest. Now, what is the quest of the shepherd? The poet believes that the scholar gypsy is still alive, and all the shepherds take him for their ideal. And shepherds believe that one day they will meet the scholar gypsy. Second stanza. Here, where the reaper was at work of late, in this high field's dark corner, where he leaves his coat, his basket, and his earthen cruse, and in the sun all morning binds the sheaves. Then here at noon comes back his store to use. Here will I sit and wait, while to my ear from upland far away the bleating of the folded flocks is borne, with distant cries of reapers in the corn, all the live murmur of the summer's day. Now the poet or the speaker says that this is the suitable place for me to wait for the shepherd, and maybe the scholar gypsy, I may come across the scholar's gypsy. So he says, when the reaper was at work of late, and the reapers are reaping the fields in the high fields dark corner, and he leaves his coat, basket, and earthen cruse. Why does he leave? Because it is break time. In the sun all morning binds the sheaves. He is binding the crop And what are his belongings? His coat, his basket, and his earthen pot. He says, then there at noon, noon means 12 noon, comes back his store to use. Now he says that here, this is the suitable place for me to sit and wait. Now he says, from the distant uplands, I can hear the bleating of the folded flocks. He can hear the folded animals and distant cries of reaper in the corn. He can also hear the voices of the farmers who are reaping the corn. All the live murmur of a summer's day. Now it is a very lively sort of murmur on the summer's day. What voices can be heard? The voices of the flocks and the voices of the shepherds. And the voices of the farmers who are reaping the fields. Screened is this nook over the high half-reaped field, and here till sundown shepherd will I be. Through the thick corn the scarlet poppies peep, and round green roots and yellowing stalks I see pale blue convolvulus in the tendrils creep. And air-swept lindens yield their scent and rustle down their perfumed showers of bloom on the bent grass where I am laid, and bower me from the August sun with shade. And the eye travel down to the Oxford Towers. Now he says that I will lie down in the field, screened in this nook. Nook means corner. Now he is screened from the farmers, from the shepherds. Nobody can see him because he is hidden by the high half-reaped field. And he says that till sundown, till the evening, I will be here only in the quest of the scholar gypsy. He says, and poppies are peeping through the thick corn. He describes the natural beauty of the field. And he says that, you see, round the green roots and yellowing stalks. Why the stalks are yellowing? Because they have been cut, and some of them are still green. Now it says, from these yellowing stalks and green roots, convolvulus flowers, creepers, they are peeping. And there is a beautiful perfume laden in the air. Now he says that where I am laid, I can smell the perfume of these wild flowers and bower me from the August sun with shade. Now it is like a shade for him from the August sun. The fields, the high hay is forming a screen which is hiding him, covering him from the sun. And he says, lying down on this field, he can look at the Oxford Towers. And again he is reminded of the scholar gypsy. And what is the story of the scholar gypsy? The scholar left, or he was rather forced to leave the Oxford University, and then he did not stop his education, though he could not complete his degree, formal degree, but his actual education did not stop. Rather, he learned more than his fellow learners. So again, the poet who is lying down on the half-reaped field, he is looking at the four walls of the Oxford, and again he is reminded of the scholar gypsy. And near me on the grass lies Lanville's book. Come, let me read the oft-read tale again. The story of the Oxford poor scholar, of pregnant parts and quick inventive brain, who tried of knocking at preferment's door. One summer morn forsook his friends and went to learn the gypsy lore, and roamed the world with that wild brotherhood, and came, as most men deemed, to little good, but came to Oxford and his friend no more. Now, The poet or the speaker is lying down in the half-read field, and he has this Lanville's book on his hand, and he says that I should read this oft read book once again. He is attracted towards the story of the scholar gypsy, and he says that that scholar was poor. He could not pay the fee. The reasons of his discontinuing the Oxford University were financial, but he was of pregnant parts. Pregnant parts means his mind and heart were filled. They were not vacant, they were filled with curiosity. They were filled with inquisitiveness and quick, inventive brain. His brain and heart were pregnant with feelings and thoughts. Now he says, who tried of knocking at preferment's door, one summer morn forsook. Now he was forsook by his fellow students, or rather he forsook his friends. He left the four walls of Oxford University and he went to learn the gypsy lore. Now see his enthusiasm, that though he was expelled from the Oxford University, but he did not stop. He did not stop the quest of his knowledge, and in that early age also he might have realized that knowledge is not just hidden in books or found in books, but he went to gain practical knowledge and he went to live with the gypsies. He roamed the world with that wild brotherhood. Now he roamed the world means he collected the experience of the whole world. And with whom did he roam the world? Wild brotherhood. Who are the wild brethren? They are the gypsies. And came, as most men deemed, to little good, but came to Oxford and his friend no more. But he did not return. People say, materialistic people say that he did not gain anything, but actually he gained a lot. He gained practical knowledge. He learned the secret, the mystery of the gypsies. But once, years after, in the country lanes, two scholars, whom at college erst he knew, met him, and of his way of life inquired, whereat he answered that the gypsy crew, his mates, had arts to rule as they desired the working of men's brains, and they can bind them to what thoughts they will. And I, he said, the secret of their art, when fully learned, will to the world impart, but needs heaven-sent moments for the skill. Now once, what happened, that after living with the gypsies for years and years, he chanced to meet his two college fellows, university fellows, whom he knew previously. So he met them, and those people inquired that what you have been doing since you left the four walls of Oxford. He said that the people I am living with are marvelous, they are wonderful, and they've got arts to rule as they desire. These people are so very talented that they can do whatever they want to with the power of meditation, and they can rule the working of men's brain. They can hypnotize also, and they can bind them to what thoughts they will, and they can make people think what they want them to think. And he says that I have been living with these people for years and years, and I have learned the secret of their art. And it was not possible for me to learn their secret if I lived in university. But it needs heaven now. When fully learned, will to the world impart. Now he also expresses his desire that when I am fully well versed with the knowledge, with the mystery of the gypsies, then I will impart this knowledge to the whole world. But he says that it needs heaven sent moments, it needs divine blessings for this skill. So, we will continue tomorrow. Thank you.